Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the wire wrapped pendant necklace and matching earrings that I will be making. Most of the components came from the bargain bead box for April 2023. And if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I highly recommend it. I will have all the information in the description box below. I highly encourage you to go check them out. And if you do, you definitely want to use my code. That code is Casey2. That's KASI2. And that code will give you $2 off your first month subscription or $2 off the first order from their website. So if you would like to see how this necklace and earring set came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, 1 set of round nose pliers, and 1 set of crimping pliers. And I do want to mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and as the name suggests, they are very, very comfortable to use. They are very high quality and very well made. And the biggest thing for me, they are made for adult size hands. A lot of times in jewelry stores or even on Amazon, for whatever reason, jewelry making tools will be very, very small. And I know they definitely function, but for me, when I found this tool set, I really just can't imagine using anything else. So I will have this tool set linked down below, along with everything else I used today that did not come from the bead box. I will also be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. And I know you can see that all of my metal here is in gold, but you will see once everything gets put together, you won't even be able to tell that the wire is silver. And I always get the 100 feet just because I go through it so quickly. And another thing I will have linked below is the opening video that I did for the bargain bead box for this month, April 2023. And it will have all of the detailed information of exactly each and everything that came in the bead box. And from my own stash, I have all of the findings, the jump rings, the crimp covers, the guardian wires, and crimp tubes. I'm also using 4mm bicones from my own stash, and of course the pins here. So I have already cut a piece of wire, and it is right at about 9 inches long. And here is how I start each strand. I'm going to put on the crimp tube, the jump ring, and the guardian wire. I'll put it through one side, wrap it around, and put it through the other. And you can see I put the jump ring up inside that wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And I'm going to pull this down a little bit because I don't want the tail quite that long. And I'm going to spread this wire apart because I don't want the wire crossed underneath that crimp tube. And then I'm going to pull this side down so it's nice and snug. And I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. And I have that taco shape. I'm going to turn it on its side. Go into that first divot. Give it another good smash. And that gets it pretty good, but I'm going to go in with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash. That's nice and snug. I'm going to hold this one on the end, take that crimp cover, place it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up and go in with my chain nose pliers. Give it a gentle smash, and then I'm going to go front to back to give it that round shape. And that is how I start every strand. So now it is simply the order of the beads, and I'm going to start with a small rondelle from the spring mix. And here is the order right here. I have one of the 8mm quartz beads, and then of course it's surrounded by the bead cap on either side, and then a 4mm bicone. And I'm going to pull all these beads down to the end. And I'm going to make sure that the tail goes inside those beads. All right, just like this. So now, without that rondelle bead, I'm going to do this part right here 2 more times. All right, just like this. So now the second part of this, we have these gold spacer beads that came in the box. And then 2 of these pastel pink beads with that kind of glitter speckle gold paint on them. Just like this, and then we're going to do this 2 more times as well. All right, there we go. There's the entire strand. So now we're going to close it off. I'm gonna put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. So I have that jump ring inside the wire guardian. I'm gonna pinch it closed with my fingers and then make sure that crimp tube has both wires inside it. So then I'm gonna take that end and pull it down. I'm gonna put that tail through the first couple of beads and then pull it through. And here's where you want to have a balance, because you definitely want to pull it snug, but you want to make sure your strand has some flexibility, so you don't want it to be too snug. So now I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Give it that taco shape, and then turn it on its side. Go in with my pliers into that first divot. Give it another smash. And then go in with that flat part at the end. Give it the final smash, just like that. And I'm gonna hold it on the end and take that crimp cover, place it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up. Go in with your chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash, just like that. I'm gonna go front to back to make sure we have that round shape with the crimp cover, just like that. And now I'm gonna get as close as I can, cut off that tail, and then I'll go in with my nail just to kind of shove that little nub into the next bead, just like that. So here is the strand. So this is gonna be half of the longer strand. So now what you need to do, if you have to go back in the video, you need 1 more just like this. All right, here we go. So as you can see, I've already added some dangles to this one, and we're gonna add them to this one together. And if you get a close-up of these here, you can see these beautiful leaf beads that came in the box with these bicones. We're gonna make one of the components. I have a flathead pin, and then leaf bead, and bicone. So here is how I make a loop. I'm gonna go in just above that top bead with my round nose pliers. Bend it just a little bit. Bend it back with my fingers. Go in with my cutters. And then I'm gonna go back in with my round nose pliers and close that loop, just like that. So now we're gonna make 2 more of these. All right, so we have 3 of them here, and we're going to attach these 3 components to the 3 bicones along this strand. So I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it. You have to open it kind of far when you're attaching these so that bicone can fit in there. So I have that jump ring on there. I'm going to attach one of the components and close that jump ring, just like that. So now we're going to add the other 2 components the same way at the other 2 bicones. All right, there we go. So now we have the dangles off of both sides. So now we are going to wire wrap our pendant. So this beautiful flower bead came in the box, and this is going to be our center focus pendant. So here is my piece of 22 gauge wire. I probably have about 8 inches or so, 9 inches, which is a little bit more than I need, but that is okay. So I'm going to put that wire through the center of that flower and then have it right about halfway, and then where the petals go down, I'm going to fold this up, kind of pinch it, and I want it twisted right in the crease of that flower. So I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and pinch it right there so it's kind of snug, and then I want those wires going together so you can see how it's pinched, just like that. And then I'm grabbing right above the top where the twist is, and then I'm going to bend that wire 90 degrees. Just like that, right over that twist. There we go. And then I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers right at that 90-degree bend, and I'm going to wrap this around the pliers just like that. And then I'm going to switch the ends. So I'm going to put it on the bottom end of the round nose pliers now, and continue the wrap around just like that. And then I can wrap this wire with my fingers. Just like that. So there's the start of it. And now I'm going to cut this end off, just like that. And I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and bend that last little bit. And there we have a wire wrapped loop. Looks pretty good. Just like that. This is going to be the center pendant right here. So now we are going to use the jump rings that are already on this strand, already on these strands, and connect them to the pendant. So I'm going to take that jump ring, open it, connect the pendant to it, and close it. And now I'm going to connect the other side. All right, so there is the bottom right here. Looks so good. I'm so excited. So this is going to be a multi-strand necklace. So there is going to be a shorter strand, and I have already made this strand, and I'll go ahead and show it to you. So right here, there was a pastel mix in the bead box, which is these rondelles in different shades of pastel. Absolutely beautiful. Now in the center, I added the bicone, the kind of every other bead, and just in that center portion. And then it's just the rondelles on the outside. So here is the accent strand. And this is going to be the secondary, shorter strand, just like this. Now, this strand is started off and ended in the exact same method as the strand that we made together. So you can go back in the video if you need to see how we began and ended it, and then this is just the order of the beads. So now I'm going to connect the strands to the chain to kind of set it all off. So this is the chain that came in the box that I'm using, and I can tell you, if we just pretend this 3 is a 1, we have 5 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of chain. 2 lengths of that. So now we have an 8mm jump ring. We're going to connect it directly to the guardian wires of both strands, and then the last link in the chain, and close that jump ring. So just like that, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we have both sides connected to the chain. So now we're going to put on the clasp. So I'm going to have a 4mm jump ring and connect it to the other last link and put on the lobster clasp, and then close that jump ring. The other side, I'm going to have a 6mm jump ring and connect it to the other last link, just like that, and then close it. And then I can close the clasp, just like that. So here is the final necklace. So now we're going to quickly put together the matching earrings. So here is the earring that I have here. Now this charm, the outer part, definitely came in the bead box, and I just think it is super cute. It is very spring, and I added the element in the middle, the dangle. So here is how I attach that. Again, here's the charm that came in it, and I have a flathead pin, and then one of these 6mm pale pink beads with that speckle on it, that gold, and then one of these smaller rondelles. So I'm going to go just above that rondelle, bend it, just like that, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and now here is how I attach it to the charm. Since the pieces are so small, I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. So I have the open loop here, and I have the loop at the top of the charm. So I'm going to hold it just like this, and I'm going to connect this from the front just like that so that I can see it coming out of the back. And this way I can close it out of the back where all of these things aren't coming out. So I have a little bit more room here in the back. So I'm going to close this loop just like that. So now it has that dangle in the middle. And then I can quickly add the ear wire just by opening it just a little and then connecting it to the top of that loop and then closing it right back. So here are the matching springtime earrings. So now I'm going to set up the earrings and the necklace on my display so we can see it better. All right, so here they are. And I have to tell you, I'm super excited with how they came out. I am going to zoom in on this wire wrapped pendant. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and I definitely think that it looks really good with the other dangles. It just screams spring to me, especially with those pastel colors. I just think it looks so good. And that second strand just kind of adds a little bit to it, just a little extra color. I'm just so happy with this. This looks so nice. And then of course, the matching earrings. And like I said, the charms came in the box, and I love how whimsical they are, how fun. They definitely scream spring. And just that little added detail in the center gives it a little bit more movement, a little bit more color. I absolutely love them. I think they're so nice. So once again, if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to go check them out. And if you do, you want to use my code. That code is KASI2. That's KASI2. And that code will get you $2 off your first month subscription or $2 off your first order from their website. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think of this wire wrapped pendant, what you think of this set. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and you ask such intelligent questions. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.